So I think this will be a fairly short demo. I'm going to show the linker tool, link tables, plots, and input filters. Okay, so first of all, I need to share my screen. So linker mode can be activated via the controls menu in the top right corner. There is a linker option, and we can also use keyboard shortcut Command L to do the same. So linker essentially is a tool that allows us to filter tables without manually applying filters. And in this example, I have a number of tables on the screen, and I can create links by clicking between the columns. Let's say I click one column, and then I can click another column with a matching type to create a link. So in this case, it's a string type, so I can link with another USIM somewhere. And if I try to link with a non-matching type, like a timestamp, this wouldn't work. The link is grayed out. So existing links are represented by these blue lines. We can add new ones, click existing to delete them, or re-add again. And the way we use the links is we double click the row in the source table. It's where the arrow is pointing from. And it will apply the value from the clicked row to all of the linked panels. So in this case, if I double click IBM, it applies a filter IBM to all of the linked tables to that column. And it creates a quick filter with that value. So when I double click other rows, you see it refilters everything. So that's an example of linked tables. There is a setting for the table in the menu in the advanced setting where I can select to clear all existing filters on the table when I apply the link by double clicking. So I'll set this to on, and if I have let's say a filter here, let's see. And with the setting on, if I activate a link, it will clear everything and just apply this new filter. On other tables where this setting isn't set, you'll see that it doesn't clear the filters; it just adds or updates a single column filter. So that's the settings for the links. Another use for the
do these links get saved in the layouts?
Yeah, the links are part of a layout, so they're saved per dashboard. Yeah, and they persist dashboard reloads and all that. So if I close and reopen this dashboard, they will be restored. So now if I press Command L, all the existing links are restored. And as you can see, when I scroll the tables, the arrows try to follow the columns. And if the columns are off screen, the links just point to to where the columns should be. Or if I activate a different tab here, the links are pointing to the tab itself, not to the columns. Okay, another use for the links is filtering one-click plots. One-click plots are essentially plots that are on filtered data. In this case, we have a query that pulls data for a given day for 6 different USIMs, and then we use the one-click method to specify that this USIM column will be used for filtering, and then we create a plot using that variable, one-click variable, and it will chart my timestamp and last timestamp for x-axis last for y-axis, and it will use the filter data from this TOC variable. This is the first plot. So when we create when we create a plot like that, sorry, initially it shows us two options how to fit the data here. So we can either add input filters or open linker tool to set up the filter for this, or set up a link for this USIM column. If I click here, it allows me to link this to the source, let's say USIM, or I can link all charts to the same column. So now if I double click this, it filters all linked charts to the given USIM. To make filtering a bit more useful, I can create select distinct table. Actually, I already created, but I'll repeat the process. So I make a copy of the panel, and then I can use the select distinct tool to only show the unique values for that column. So now I can go to the linker again and relink these charts to this unique values column. That way I can see all values and quickly re-filter the plots. And you can see the selected USIM shows up in the chart title. They can be more than one source or things like that. So I can link the same chart to multiple different sources, and whatever I click last will be applied. So if I click here, the link from this table will be applied to both plots. If I click on the other side, so the links from the left table get applied to the plots.
Is that true for tables as well, or just for plots?
Yes, correct. That also works for tables. So whatever link is clicked last. So in this case, let's see, we have as the source linked to this table T, and then another table linked to the same table. So if I click, well, I need to scroll somewhere to a different, like here. So this gets applied. But also this link refilters this table. So there's two ways to activate the linker. One is through this controls menu, and there is also keyboard shortcut it shows here. Okay, it's Command L for Mac, and I believe Control L for Windows. Right. So another use for linker is the Dropdown filter. And Dropdown filter, essentially, it's a type of an input filter that uses list of values from a linked table. Like for regular input filters, like you can see on top, we can select a column that will be filtered. Let's put a USIM here for consistency. So once I start typing, it applies this or something different. It applies this input filter to all tables that have the same column, USIM column. In case of the drop-down filter, I need to select a source, and this, let's see, I'm going to create a select distinct table to use as a source, because that's the intended way of use. Okay. Here. Okay, so here's a table with unique values, and I can link it by clicking select the column to the drop-down. Then I need to select what columns we want to filter, and well, I can pick the same column. And now it presents me a drop-down with all the values from this table, and when I select this table, it refilters all panels with the USIM column refilters on this selected value, except the source table. Source table isn't filtered. So the drop-down filters follow all changes on the source table, which means if I resort the table, changes sorting, you'll see that the order of values here also changes. Or if I filter it to something like anything starting with A, or having an A, it'll also update the values here. So that can be useful. And in a way, this is similar to how the regular links work. I mean, I could link this source table and double click a row here, and it will refilter things around. But there is a couple of differences. So first of all, the linked tables only filter like what's actually linked. Like if in this case I have what 1, 2, 3, 4 links outgoing from this table, it'll only filter 4 tables and will not filter any other tables that have the same USIM column. And the drop-down filter filters all panels, linked or not, that have the USIM column. So if I add a new panel that has that column, it will also be filtered by the drop-down filter. And with the linked grid, I would have to open the linker and click here and click in the new grid.
So is the drop-down filter also filtering tables with USIM?
Yes, correct. It's filtering all tables that have the USIM column. So yeah, to demonstrate this, tsum table doesn't have a link from the source. So when I click here, it updates the linked tables, but does not update the tsum. But when I change the drop-down filter, it updates all grids on this dashboard that have the USIM column. So when I change this, it updates the filter like on all grids here. Yeah, so that's the difference between filtering through the drop-down filter and through the linked table. It's the way they filter. Okay, one more thing related to the input filters is the filter set manager. It's a new panel type added fairly recently. It can be accessed through the controls menu. It's called filter sets, and this is how it looks. Okay. Add a new one. Okay, and what it does, it allows to save all applied filters on this dashboard into a set, and then allows going back to that saved set later. And there can be multiple sets. It should save the links. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'll check later. It saves all the filters into a filter view, and it creates a drop down of the saved filter views, and allows going back to the saved sets. Okay, so I think that's all I was going to tell about the links, plots, and grids. Please ask your questions.
Can you generate these linking tools programmatically with a command, or is it just with the UI?
Yeah, for now, it's only the links are only generated through the UI, and there is no programmatic equivalent to them. I mean, yeah, just the UI.
So then if we export this layout, will the linking tool be in that export?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Well, the export layout, I was demoing the enterprise on the enterprise version of the app. Yeah, there is no export layout. Yeah, but yeah, the links should be a part of the export layout.
So, we had talked about programmatically creating these links, and that doesn't exist right now. And at the same time, these being stored, the information being stored in the layout, would it be very complicated to edit the layout by hand, or are we always better just to hit the GUI?
Well, yeah, the layout is stored as a JSON data that's not really friendly for editing by hand. So I would say the UI editing through the UI is the preferred way. Yeah, but if you are comfortable, the links can be created in the JSON as well. Like it's possible. Or we could, I guess, create a tool to edit them directly in the data structure.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Thanks, Vlad.